My dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. As you know, we have chosen today the subject of geography, class 9th. My topic will be the drainage basin. My dear students, let us make it understand what is a drainage basin. The area drained by a river system. The area drained by a river system is known as drainage basin, and we see that different rivers which flow in different directions come together and they form a main river. After that, the water of the main river falls into a sea or an ocean or a lake. The rivers which flow in different direction and then they join the main river, this is called river system. This is called river system. This is called river system. And in India, we have so many rivers, and that can be grouped in two categories. Before I will tell you, I will discuss you different types of rivers. I will also tell you that an elevated land, or upland hill or a mountain separates two drainage basins. When an upland, when an elevated land, a mountain or a hill separates two drainage basins, it is known as water divide. It is known as water divide. Water divide. My dear students, you must remember it, when a river system is flowing and it is separated by a water divide. What is the water divide? Water divide means an upland, a mountain or a hill which divides two river systems, two drainage basins, is called water divide. So, when we talk of India, because India is our country and it has been printed in our syllabus, the drainage Indian drainage basin, I have prepared a chart for your convenience. Here is a chart which shows different river of India flowing in different directions. So, the land, the relief feature of India controls the river system of India. Just I will tell you that there are two categories of rivers in India. One is the Himalayan rivers, another is the peninsular rivers. Himalayan rivers, first of all I will tell you Himalayan, because the you might have read in first lesson that the land surface of India has been divided into 5 physiographic divisions. The main are 3 and 2 are subdivisions. The highest division is the mountains, northern mountain, which is called Himalayas, and then there is plains, plateaus, coastal areas, Andaman Nicobar islands are there, and because of this the different land positions, the Indian rivers have been categorized into 2 groups. One is the Himalayan rivers and second is the peninsular rivers. And let us discuss the Himalayan rivers. The Himalayan rivers are those rivers which have their source in the snow field of Himalayas, and they flow throughout the year, and they are perennial in nature. Whereas the peninsular rivers are those rivers which entirely depend on rainfall for the flow of their water, and during hot season, during summer season, they are mostly dry. So, this is the main difference between the two river systems. Let us describe first the Himalayan rivers. The Himalayan rivers are further divided in two groups. One is Indus river system, another is Ganga river system. I will show you first Indus river system. My dear students, I will show you here. This is Tibet, and here the Tibet, this is the Mysore lake in Tibet, which is the neighboring country of India. The Mysore lake in Tibet is the source of river Indus. River Indus here, it moves here and enters J&K through Ladakh. In Ladakh, it is joined by so many tributaries. There is Shiuk, Zanskar, Hunza, and there are some other tributaries which join with this mighty rivers, Indus river in Ladakh, and here it passes and crosses here, reaches Baltistan, Gilgit, and emerges out from Attock mountains here and enters Pakistan. When it enters Pakistan, it flows through Pakistan via Karachi, and ultimately it falls into Arabian Sea. It is one of the longest rivers of the world. There are so many longest rivers of the world. One of them is Indus river. Though Indus river, the length of Indus river is 2,900 kilometers. The length of Indus river is 2,900 kilometers, and this river flows through Ladakh. In Ladakh, it flows at about 720 kilometers. 720 kilometers, and this is the river Indus. And there we have another river here, Jhelum. The river Jhelum, it is known in Kashmir, it is called Veth, and in Sanskrit it is called Vitasta. In Kashmiri it is called Veth, and in Sanskrit it is called Vitasta. This river has its origin near the Pir Panchal range in Anantnag district at Verinag. Verinag is a spring where from this river originates. First of all, it flows like a stream, like a nala, near about 25 kilometers up to Khanbal, and then this river enters the famous water lake, which is the first water lake in Asia, and it emerges out, and via Baramulla, this river passes through a gorge and leaves Kashmir valley and enters Pakistan. The total length of this river is 750 kilometers. The total length of river Jhelum, which is the main river of the valley of Kashmir, its total length is 750 kilometers, and this river, on the bank of this river, the famous city Srinagar is located on the banks of the river. And then there is Chenab. Chenab is, and which has its source near here in Himachal Pradesh, in the hills of Himachal Pradesh. it moves sir, and when it enters into J&K through Kishtwar near Padar region. There is a place in Padar here, and it flows and here through Ramban, Riyasi, Jammu, and passes and crosses J&K and enters Pakistan, and it meets here with the river Jhelum in Pakistan, which is here. The point here it meets, it is called Jung. Jung is a place in Pakistan where river Jhelum and river Chenab meets together. The length of this river is 1180 kilometers. 1180 kilometers is the length of the Chenab river, and then one more river is there, that is Ravi. Ravi has also its origin in the near the snowfields of Himalayas, that is in the Himachal Pradesh. Here is Kullu. Kullu is the famous valley of Himachal Pradesh. Kullu, from Kullu, here is a mountain range which is called Rohtang Pass. Rohtang Pass, and it flows here, it enters Haryana and passes and crosses the India and enters Pakistan, and the length of this river is 725 kilometers, and it meets with the Jhelum river. Then there is one more river, that is Beas. Beas, the origin of Beas river is also in the hills of the Himachal Pradesh, and this Kullu valley, it flows through Kullu valley and enters here, and the length of this river is 450 kilometers, and it meets river Jhelum here in Pakistan. And then the largest tributary of this Indus, which I am going to tell you, is the river Satluj, which has its source across Himalaya near Kailash mountains, and this river enters to India in Himachal Pradesh, and then it goes Punjab and then Haryana, and then it leaves Haryana here and enters Pakistan, and here it meets with river Indus near Mithankot in Pakistan. The length of this river is 1450 kilometers, river Satluj, and these are 5 rivers which have their origin in snowfields of Himalayas, but because of due to the land, because the rivers, I have already told you, my dear students, that the rivers are controlled by the land features. So why these rivers go to Pakistan? Because the Himalayas, the western part of the Himalayas slope towards the west. That is why consequently these rivers go to the Pakistan, and these 5 rivers which is here called Punjab. Panj means fire, or means this water. Punjab, you know that before independence, before 1947, India and Pakistan was one country. After that, after the partition, their Punjab was also distributed divided into 2 parts. One part is here in Pakistan is called Punjab, it is called Punjab, and this Indus river is moved here, and ultimately it falls into Arabian Sea. This was the Indus river system. Then there is one more river, which is one of the longest river of the world, Brahmaputra. Brahmaputra, here where river Indus originates near Mysore Lake, Brahmaputra too has its origin near Mysore Lake in Tibet. So this river originates here in Tibet, it moves here through Tibet, here, and here it flows through Tibet. The river Brahmaputra, the most of the course of river Brahmaputra is in Tibet, and in Tibet it is called as Sangpo. Sangpo means purifier. It is Tibetan language, the Chinese language. Here it is called Sangpo. It is called Sangpo in Tibet, and this river moves towards the east. Ultimately it reaches here. Here it takes U-turn. The name of this place is Namcha Barwa. Namcha Barwa, it is the highest peak, one of the highest peak of Himalayas, and the height of this peak is 7,757 meters above sea level. And here it takes U-turn, and it passes through a deep gorge. That gorge is known as Dihang gorge. That here it is called Dihang Valley, and in this portion in Arunachal Pradesh it is called Dihang River, and when through this Dihang it enters Indian territory in Assam. Here it is joined by Lothal and Dibang rivers. There are two tributaries which join Brahmaputra in the Assam. One is Lothal and is Dibang. These Dibang and Lothal, these two rivers and some other tributaries, also small tributaries, they join the this main river, Brahmaputra, which is known as Brahmaputra in India, and through Assam it flows here, and here it takes southward direction. This is the white portion, this area, this white, it is Bangladesh, our neighboring country, Bangladesh. So it enters Bangladesh and here and falls into Bay of Bengal. The length of this river is 2,910 kilometers. This river is slightly longer than the Indus. My dear students, in most of the books I have seen that the length of these rivers has been shown equal 2,900, but I have consulted so many books. I found there that the river Brahmaputra is slightly longer than Indus. So this river, one more thing, my dear students, you must remember it, that the river Brahmaputra is called Jamna in Bangladesh. When it enters Bangladesh, the people of Bangladesh call it Jamna, and this is the this was the river Brahmaputra. These are three rivers which have their source across Himalaya. Number one is Indus, Satluj and Brahmaputra. These are three rivers which have their source across Himalaya, but through gorges they flow and they enter India and passes through and move in different directions. Then where I am going to show you the Ganga river system. The Ganga river system is the a large Indus water system in India, where we see the Ganga. The Ganga has its originates from the Gangotri glacier in the Himalayas. The Ganga river has its origin in Gangotri glacier Himalayas, and near Hardwar it enters in the plains. Here it crosses Uttarakhand and enters UP here, and this river passes through Lucknow, Kanpur, Agra, and here this mighty river, and it enters Bihar. First of all, I will tell you that the river Ganga, the length of river Ganga is 2,525 kilometers, 25 kilometers. Accurate इसकी जो length है, and this is the mighty river of India, and it is the sacred river of India as per the Hindu religion. They treat it the sacred river, and this river is joined by the numerous tributaries. One of these is south tributaries is that is parallel which flows parallel to it, that is the river Yamuna. River Yamuna has the its origin in Yamunotri glacier in Himalayas here, and it passes through Uttarakhand, enters Delhi, and then it goes where Agra and Aligarh, and then it passes here this river Yamuna, and it joins river Ganga at Allahabad. Allahabad is a place in UP where the this long tributary Yamuna joins Ganga at Allahabad. The length of the river Yamuna is 1376 kilometers. The length of the river is 1376 kilometers here. It means Allahabad, and it here passes enters Bihar and at Patna. Patna is the capital of Bihar. Here it is the Ganga. This main river is joined by the Ghagra, which has the source is the Himalayan river, Ghagra. Then the one more Gandak, which is the source in the near the Mount Everest in the Nepal Himalayas. It is source, it passes and enters Gandak through Bihar and it meets Ganga at Patna, and further when the river flows here, and here one more river is Kosi, very important river, which has its source in the Himalayas, in the Nepal Himalayas, and this river flows and it also meets at Bhagalpur in Bihar, meets with river Ganga, and this river Ganga flows here. When this river is here Farka near West Bengal, where this river here is Rajmal hills are there. So this river is divided into two branches. One branch of it goes to the Bangladesh here, the main branch, and meets river Brahmaputra at Dhaka. Then further here it is known as Meghna, and ultimately it falls in Bay of Bengal. The river Ganga here near Faraka, it is divided by into two parts, two branches. The main branch of this river enters Bangladesh, and in Bangladesh it is called Padma. The branch of the river, the main branch of the river Ganga, when it enters Bangladesh, here it is known as Padma, and it joins river Ganga. It joins river Ganga joins with river Brahmaputra at Dhaka, which is the capital of Bangladesh here, and from Dhaka this mighty river, jointly this river flows further, moves further, and it is known as here Meghna. Here it is known as Meghna, and finally it falls into Bay of Bengal. So here these are the northern tributaries. Ghagra, Gandak and Kosi are the northern tributaries. Kosi is known as the sorrow of Bihar because it brings devastation to the life and property of the people of the Bihar. So that is why, because of the heavy floods. Here from southern it has Chambal, Sindh, Betwa and Kind rivers, and so on. These rivers are the central rivers, and these rivers are the southern tributaries of Ganga. They move towards the north and join main Ganga, and this river flows further. This was the Ganga river system, which is the most Ganga river system is the most important river system, and it drains an area of 7 lakh square kilometers, and it makes India, it makes the plain, northern plain, the most fertile plain of the world. It supports a variety of crops. That is it is good for growing different types of crops like rice, wheat, jawar, baja, sugarcane. New crops are grown in this area. That is why, because of the plenty of water, because of the fertile land, fertile soil, because of the level land, the northern plains are known as the food bowl of India. It's because of these rivers, because they bring sediments, sand, mud, and they deposit. They have been deposited here from the thousands of years here, and these rivers have also on the Ganga, on the banks of the Ganga, there are 20 towns which are close to the which has been situated on the Ganga river, and this river brings happiness to the farmers because of the plenty of the water, and this is the Ganga river system. My dear students, time is over, and I will tell you in other topic I will discuss about the peninsular rivers later on. So, I have told you about the Ganga river system. The Ganga river system is the main river system, and this river system provides food security to the Indian farmers. Thank you very much. I thank you, sir. This is the now next I will tell you about the southern rivers. Southern rivers. My dear students, you might have understand that in India we have two river systems. The land features of the land features have been divided, controls the river system of an area, and I already told you that when we tell about a drainage system, and that is all. Thank you, sir.